So required or encouraged, it seems safe to assume that lucrative shift spots amongst bartenders, servers, are probably going to go to the women that are willing to toe the party line and wear the required footwear. Is that fair to assume? They've got more opportunity to make more money a lot of the time based on whether or not they can wear that footwear?
It's a lot of things, including that footwear. Like, if you're at a place that requires you to wear heels,
You're either wearing them or you're not working there.
Yeah, exactly, right? So you can't work a full shift in heels, then you can't work a full shift in heels, and you go home, right? So
I would say it's predominantly based on seniority.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You're in the right to wear your flats. That sounds bizarre, but okay.
It sure does, yeah.
So is this promoting an atmosphere, wearing the heels, an atmosphere of professionalism, or is this sexualization?
I would say that it is sexualization because it isn't the woman's choice. If she had the choice to wear heels and she decided to, but it wasn't mandatory for that restaurant, that's autonomy and the agency to act how you want to, which I have no problem with. A woman should be able to wear heels if that's what she chooses, but not an expectation.
I find that typically with the requirement to wear heels, there's also a requirement to wear a skirt. And so if you're already wearing a fairly short skirt, and like there's a maximum length to that skirt.
Okay, so when you're talking about maximum length and minimum heel height, this clearly sounds a bit more like sexualization than professionalism that's being exemplified.
Yeah,
certainly.
Begs the question, why is that?
Because it's attractive. It's been decades that a woman in high heels and a skirt is the almost epitome of sex appeal. So I think it's really playing into cultural stereotypes that people are drawn to.
Now, to be fair though, many women do take a lot of pride in their high heels, their pumps. Some of them maybe feel an air of power about wearing a dress attire like that in an office or whatnot. Where's the disconnect here? Because clearly one does exist.
Heather's wearing a skirt and heels right now. Like, there's nothing wrong with wearing a skirt and heels. It's like when you don't get to wear pants that you're not a person. Like like you lose that, like everybody thinks that men and women are equal, and it's like, no, if I'm not allowed to wear pants, then we're not equal.
That's fair.
Yeah, the same argument could be said about, a guy socially can't really wear a skirt, so that's not really fair either.
Tell it to the Scottish.
Right, exactly, yeah, they got the right idea.
You know what, actually, a bouncer that I work with used to wear a kilt all the time, and he got sexually harassed a lot.
On the job?
People would come up and try to lift up his kilt to see if he was wearing underwear.
Brutal.
So it's not just women who are going through.
Yeah, so like the thing is wearing a skirt to a lot of people, especially once you add alcohol, is like an invitation.
That's just pig-headed though. Whether, especially if it's a female. That's regardless. Don't get me wrong. If you're lifting a kilt, you're lifting a skirt. That's alcohol at play. That's somebody that probably doesn't belong to be out in public at that time. Do things need to be more policed in that regard? Like, do you feel safe when you're on the job, for example?
Well, I have bouncers that have my back, so like. I do feel safe, and the location of where I'm at, it's a little on the dodgier side. I do get walked to my car at the end of the night, but I feel completely safe.
In your experience, Heather, can you?
I think that really management has to take a huge leadership position here to make sure that women feel safe, and you can have. I've worked at a lot of places with very clear guidelines when you start working there, what they stand for as a company, what they will not accept, not only from staff, but also from customers. So I think that all restaurants should really look to ones that are leaders in that way and apply that so that servers feel empowered to be able to speak when they feel unsafe.
Do the paths cross? Do we see restaurants that maybe sexualize their staff also take good care of their staff as far as protecting them? Or is it usually, well, if you're sexualizing, chances are you're not really a super valued employee?
In my experience, it's definitely the latter. Like, it's definitely more of the management kind of hangs you out to dry. Again, where like I haven't lasted as long at those types of places. Because I don't tolerate sexism from my bosses.
Good for you.
I'll
you just don't take any crap, right? You forget this. Other opportunities.
I'll put up with quite a bit from customers, but when it comes to like the bot, like your manager, blatant sexism and like sexual harassment in the workplace is completely unacceptable. But I have spent like a few weeks working at nightclub here or nightclub there, strip club here, right? I tried out that scene, and it was not, like, I genuinely didn't feel safe.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned the sexism on the job. How prevalent in your experience? I mean, you've been working a decade now, it sounds like, right?
I think it depends on where you're at. If you're at a restaurant that kind of permits that, it happens more frequently, as opposed to at a restaurant where I get to wear pants. It's not as big of a problem.
Attire goes a long way.
But it still happens. Yeah.
Disappointing. Folks, we're going to jump to another break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.